Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to our subscriber game tournament season 2 as we continue with our round 2 matchup here in group 6 as we have Peppa Pig Gaming in the green versus WARMASTER in the red for their second match in their siege battle. And they have swapped sides with Peppa Pig Gaming taking on the defense using Kong Rong, Huang Fusong, and Yu Jin, which is making his first appearance here in the tournament as he also have a special ability that only activates on defense and when his side has a weaker force, which is pretty much how defensive siege are set up here. It's called the Impenetrable Redoubt, and the ability gives 25% extra melee evasion for all units, extra 25% range block chance, 5 points of morale, but there is a negative penalty of 25% melee attack rate. So you're taking away your own special units, or actually all units, melee attack rate. So all melee combat will be weaker for your side, but your range combat capabilities will be highlighted as when you're exchanging fire with the enemy, you'll have an extra 25% range block chance even on units that do not carry shield. So it's a very interesting buff. Defensively, you're just a lot stronger with the 25% melee evasion as well. There are no units on Yu Jin, which is fine, even though Qingzhou units are quite nice. No complaints, mainly because there are really good infantry options on Huang Fusong, and Peppa Pig Gaming has brought 4 of the Unbreakable Defender of Empire and 2 Imperial Sword Guard. Finally, we have 4 Fury of Beihai on Kong Rong, which is definitely a great range option. Powerful crossbow unit with decent range, although I probably would have liked to see the upgrade money used on Imperial Sword Guard to be used on the Fury of Beihai instead, as the faster range firing rate would make them a lot better, and the Imperial Sword Guard doesn't really need the extra upgrade value since their innate stats already very high. 1 point bonus on them is very marginal at this rate, and since their base cost is rather expensive, the upgrade are very expensive, so if you take away one of those rank up, you can probably get 2 ranks on the Fury of Beihai. Then looking at the attacking side, we have WARMASTER, who's fighting for his tournament life, bringing a rather large army here on offense. We have Zhang Liao, we have He Yi, and He Man. It's interesting that Zhang Liao is picked on offense because he's pretty much giving up one of his abilities since it only activates on defense, so I don't know the thinking behind that, since Zhang Liao is not a very powerful general without that ability, since his only other active ability is really a defensive boost and a roar, so he's not really offering very much as a character. There is no range slam ability against enemy unit, which is pretty crucial in these fights, especially against those unbreakable foes. The other 2 generals, Yellow Turbans, will have a slightly slower attack rate, which will be their penalty, but He Yi is a very good infantry unit booster, and there is a lot of infantry in this army, as you can see. He Man, obviously with his gold bow, surprise attack as a boost, as well as his hail of arrows and binding fury. It's a very capable general. He's probably the main general killer here. He's not technically great at clearing units, especially those with turtle, since all he has is hail of arrows, but I think the unit themselves can take care of that. Since if we look at the infantry here, we have Qingzhou units, 4 of them plus 1 cavalry, which I don't hate. You can always include 1 cavalry. There's always a use for sneak attack somewhere. Then for He Yi, we're getting 4 units of the Unbreakable Youxia, which are half unit size, and 1 trebuchet, which is not upgraded, and that might be a problem because there are no fire arrows in this army, so this trebuchet's job is probably to take down towers, and with level 1, I don't think it's going to do a good job of that. It's going to miss most of the shot. There's no turtle formation to tank up towers, so maybe they'll use the siege tower, perhaps? It's hard to say, but there's a lot riding on this trebuchet and it's not leveled up, so I'm a little worried, and plus picking it on someone like He Yi who doesn't have high cunning, since he's not a strategist, means you're going to get about 12 ammo instead of 20, so 8 ammo short and also inaccurate definitely causes for concern. Then finally for He Man, we have 4 units of the Yellow Sky Herald, which are also unbreakable unit. They have decent offensive power. Main thing is they are unbreakable. And we have 1 Chanter, which will boost all nearby units armor stat as well as a bit of damage. So definitely strong infantry army, and hopefully they have a way to push in. Maybe the best thing they can do is, instead of go for towers, just try to break the walls. And that way your trebuchet shots accuracy is not punished as hard. And with this many infantry, just rush the towers. As long as you can get inside, you'll be fine. There's only so much damage the towers can do to you while you're closing that gap. So as long as there are some gaps opened up for them to go through, it's not going to be that bad. So we'll see how this one plays out, and let's check out the deployment. Alrighty, so it seems like WARMASTER has decided to attack on this right side, which I think it's the harder side. A couple of reasons. There's no gate, so the battering ram is useless. I prefer to attack the gate side because it's easier. You have one more siege weapon to open up a gap for sure. Now to get in, you pretty much have to break a piece to the wall. Or maybe you're using the siege tower to, land some troops on the wall, but then you have to fight your way down the wall, which can be difficult. Another thing is, after you enter, you have interior towers that sort of overlap inside the street. The barricades can close you off pretty effectively. You kind of have to go through multiple overlap interior towers. And without any fire arrows on the side, it's going to be rather difficult. Although there's something really cool that they could actually do, which is attack this side, even though you deployed here. Since it's always easier for the offensive side to switch than for the defensive side to loop. Look at the path. It will be going here, go up, go over here, go all the way around, and come down here. It's a long way for the defense to regroup, and it's much easier for the offense to rush for this gate here. So that could potentially be a thing, but looking at the matches so far in the tournament, I don't think our contestants are that creative. So let's see how things go. We'll speed this part up a little. Hobble zone's coming out. The generals respawn, protecting the trebuchet. I would say Heman should just walk up and start Hail of Arrow. That's perfect. Because that's what he's trying to do. So you could actually just answer. He's using his bow and firewall. Don't get too close. Don't get too close. It's a little too close. Okay, he sees that. Just aim a Hail of Arrow at him. What is He Yi doing? He Yi doesn't need to be here. I mean, if He Yi's coming, why not bring Zhang Dao as well? If you're not just trying to respond with a Hail of Arrow, then you should bring all three generals. Yeah, it's not going to be worth it if they get hit by a tower shot. So he lost 1k here. He lost 6k. That was good. The arrow is probably doing most of the damage. Right, that was a 2k hit on the arrow. A gold bow does a lot of damage. People should use their bow more often. Alright, let's see where the trebuchet is aiming for. So fire shots, I'm guessing towers. Yeah, accuracy is going to be a big problem. Especially if you're shooting from this far away. You want to be at as close as you can. Accuracy goes up by... Ooh, surprise attack? Why? Is anyone moving during surprise attack? Like, they're invisible for the next 60 seconds. Are they going to do anything with that? Okay, why just click that ability? It's a 3-minute cooldown. Is he hitting walls, or is he just missing? That's my question. What is the aim? Because if you're aiming for walls, you should not be using Flaming Shot, because it looks like he's aiming for the actual wall. The non-Flaming Shot does way more damage to walls. Remember, only 12 ammo, we're 5 in, 6 in, we're halfway in, and there's no hole on the wall. Yeah, Flaming Shot does about 7%. I think each of the regular shots 10%. Well, you might not think that's a big difference. It's 10 impact hits versus 14 impact hits. when you have Sofu ammo, I think it's actually a big difference. Right? 3 shots does what your 2 shot can do. Okay, they brought both generals out. And this is the ability that I was talking about. It looks like he's just going for wall. He's not going for tower. Which is interesting. There's this nice buffer zone where they can operate because there's these towers here. That makes it very hard for the opponent. It was very smart bringing Rizin out just for that extra 50% range box chance. Although I'm curious why Hongfusong's not using his bow to return fire. A little bit of harassment damage from the Fury Beihai, who has, you know, plenty of ammo, so this is going to be fine. It's a very tightly packed space. Yeah, made 4 hits. Well, technically 6 hits. There's 2 ammo left. It's hopeless. There's no gap in the wall happening. They're firing from too far away. That's the main thing. Accuracy is way too low at that distance, and they're also using the wrong ammo. That's the risk of bringing a trebuchet on a yellow turban general, also not ranking it up. Makes it pretty useless. If you're going to bring trebuchet... Oh, they finally switch ammo. Look at that impact, 10%. Too late though. Last shot there. Also picked up a few units with a missed shot there. They burned some troops. I guess they did. Now what? Maybe try to attack a different side? I think there's going to be just a lot of nothing happening for a bit as they decide what to do to absorb. Oh, they're going for a different side. Yes, I love it. This is awesome. Definitely the right move. And also leaving a couple in here in the forest so that if they commit to all leave, they can still sneak in with a surprise attack. That is actually very cool. You want multiple points of attack for sure. And he's going to use the engineers from the trebuchet to push the battering ram. But the sad news is there's no gates here. He's going to attack that gate. That's way too many towers to go through. Okay, invisibility is activated. We got 60 seconds of sneak. Let's go, let's go. But I think he should wait a little bit longer. They haven't committed yet. Wait till they're in the middle. There's a Chinese saying, you know, you attack the enemy halfway during the crossing. Where they can't really, you know, pull back from the river or move forward. Here is, they can still easily just come back. The second you climb wall, you give them a notification. Enemies are climbing walls. So, that's the bad news. I would honestly not even use surprise attack here. Until I get into the tower range. I'll let them see me walk up. You know, and then, you know, when they're halfway, because that's the threat. Just climb the walls. The siege tower's too slow. I wouldn't even use the siege was. Just climb. Just go for it. Yeah, see, you should time this climb with this climb. Then the invisibility would not be prompted. Anyways, it's timed out. Because you used it way too early. I think they could have used it right as they entered the range to avoid all the damage. Cavalry dismounting for this, just a poor choice. They should just wait on the outskirts until that gate's captured. They're committing all the generals to this side, so that is good. I would actually not do the gate attack. It's just a waste of time. Right, so defense now, the best decision is to just pull into the center. And have the archer set up here and here. And then plug up the bridge with all the unbreakable unit, because there is no fire arrow, so these 4 towers are your best bet. Instead of committing or over committing to either side, you know, let the towers do its maximum damage and let all the enemy units become fatigued. Always just climb with 1 and capture the gate and let everyone in. Every unit that climb automatically becomes fatigued for the rest of the battle, and you lose tremendous offensive stats that's not displayed on the unit card. So yeah, the efficiency is going way down on all these units. They abandoned the siege tower, which is the right move. Yeah, way too many units climbing. Once you're done and climbed in, exit the wall because the towers can hit you on the wall. Just walk down and you'll be okay. And then you can capture all these from below. And you don't care about the outer towers at this point. You just care about the gate perhaps to let your other units in. We're going to fast forward this part because there's not going to be a lot of battling. There's going to be a lot of just moving. It looks like, you know, they have taken this center approach, but because of the way the barricades are placed, they're going to have a hard time getting there. The good news is there's no fire on this side, so the barricades are going to be good. There are radar traits, right? I believe some of these yellow turban must have the radar trait. The Xi'an Cav has it, so they can technically just walk up to this building, start burning it, and burn the barricade as well. As you can see, the fire on this side has already started, so they could actually get easy access. Are we going to get a hail of arrow here? The generals are rather impatient. Hail of arrow. Ooh. Ooh. They're beelining for Coron because they're worried about the stifling deluge. But they're going way too close to the enemy tower. Coron gives them the Wisdom of River debuff. City pathing at work. There we go. They finally picked up some speed. Yeah, He Yi took the brunt of that hail of arrow, and now he's routing. Coron's running to the bridge. It's impossible to fight here. I don't understand why He Man would never use his hail of arrow. He has not used it so far. I would place the units right there on the barricade and try to burn it down. Now the fire is creating some... Oh, we finally got some hail of arrow usage. I would say some friendly fire opportunities as well, but maybe a little too far for damage. Yeah, the nearby fire is kind of rocking our Qingzhou units' morale, activating the misplaced devotion a little early. Cow traps being thrown. I would never pile units into one hallway. They should keep moving. Try to open up as many, alleys of attack as you can. The worst thing is get pinned down by a, unbreakable unit, and then you're in the tower range. You're in the crossbow range. Okay, at least He Yi bounced back, but he does have a very good passive. He needs to be a little bit closer to use it, though. Surprise attack for extra damage boost. That's okay. But we're still fighting in a really bad spot. Ooh, really good hail of arrow. Now the only positive is all of these have misplaced devotion and potentially, unbreakable. So they're not gonna run away, but the damage is done. They're trying to open up a second path, which is great. Unfortunately, no one stopped the Fury Beihai from getting past this bridge. Don't attack it. Burn it down. That's your guy. They're trying to get their horse back. Now you're trying to... Never should have dismounted. They could have just burned this down. I think he has another hail of arrow, but... Probably not a... I mean, he can stand here a little bit. That's a pretty good target. He's trying to move up a little bit. Going for the generals. Probably a good decision. Not that much damage done, but whatever you can get. The two Imperial are probably going to try to hold the bridge. The Fury Beihai is going to work. And that's just basically free damage. They're looking for their horse, but I would say by the time they get back to their horse, they're probably going to be too late to the fight. And plus that towers continuously work. Alright, so the two Imperials are back at the bridge. Everyone's turtled up. there's not too much Homan can do here with his ability. The roar is kind of useless. There's no slam ability, which is a major weakness for both armies. The generals can't do anything to kill infantry, which I think is a big requirement for siege battles, because there's going to be clumps of infantry in the street. Any sort of, you know, AoE ability that you have, it's going to be very effective. Okay, they're going to pick off these Qingzhou units. Yeah, the bridge is being held. And the Fury Beihai is going to get maximum value because no one's going to break through here. Alright, they're wiped. Maybe switch targets, maybe switch targets. Okay, they've been told to shoot somewhere else. Right? No, they're still... Oh, they're shooting the general. I'm not sure if that's the best value, but let's see. Let's see his health. 8k, 7k. Okay, not bad, not bad. I guess if he stands there, you can still kill him. I mean, He Yi wasn't being used correctly anyways. He didn't stand close enough to the infantry to give them the boost. Is he going to try to hail arrow across the lake? I don't think that works. John L's being targeted right now. I mean, that's okay. He's confident in his infantry, so if he can help his general out and win this fight. He also has weak generals, which is the main problem. Look at how long that barricade's holding them. Did the cavalry ever come back, or did they get routed because when they were mounting back, the tower took them out? No, they're going the... Why? Why spend time? That gate's captured. Why not just go back in? Yeah, he's gone. We can chill. Okay, John Al's getting sniped off as well. I think the only thing they can do is maybe whiz in the river a couple times. He got dismounted right there. I believe all the ability has been used. Okay, now we're shooting this group here. Yeah, this is pretty good. Just keep shooting this group. Unbreakable units, you gotta kill them eventually. Did the cavalry come in? Nope, they routed before they did anything. I don't understand why not just go through the gate they came from. They're so much closer too. Loman's actually chasing Coron around. Wisdom River. Just dismount and fight him. Coron, you can fight him too. And John Al's not being used. Okay, double dismount, going for the fight. I mean, Wisdom River is still good for 4 seconds, so it's free hit right now. Once he gets it back, though, he will be very hard to hit. Oh, no, but he's going to rout after that. So, all good. Good timing on Wisdom River to wipe out the general with insane evasion. He is just busy killing infantry here with his dual weapon, which does fire quite fast. So you can see Yoxia made it, but they're already heavily damaged, and they have to fight Imperial units now. So, not going well for them. There could be a lot of friendly fire here. I don't know if I'll keep shooting the Yoxia. Maybe switch over and shoot these. Yep, okay. They have recognized that. I mean, there's still so many. 17 ammo left. 31, 43, 18. So much firepower left. And no one's going to break through that. Pull Yujin out. They have turtle. They'll be fine. Just let the archers finish that up. Yeah, I might as well join the fight. The generals are not really useful elsewhere. Army loss is kicking in. I think this one's pretty much over. The generals are out of the fight, just a couple unbreakable units fighting till their last breath. But in essence, this battle boiled down to the fact that as an offensive side during a siege, not bringing any fire weapon, it's very hard to play. Bringing a trebuchet that's not ranked up is just going to mean a lot of missed shots and waste of money, essentially. Recruiting a trebuchet is the first step. Getting it ranked up to at least 6 or 7 is probably the minimum for it to be useful at all. The unit choices were great. Both sides had really good, solid infantry that could grind it out on the street. But the prerequisite for offense to grind it out on the street is that these towers have to be gone, or else they're getting too much free value. And none of the generals on either side had any good infantry clearing ability, which is just unfortunate because any sort of Flame of Phoenix, even hamstring ability, would just absolutely do the number on clumps of infantry like this on the narrow streets. And the fact that Peppa Pig Gaming was able to adapt, both sides did some really good adaptations. Trebuchets ran a shot, realized that a frontal assault into 4 Fury Beihai is suicide, so quickly swapping side to attack the left is great. Recognizing that he's caught halfway through and that the best goal is to actually just defend the center, super alert to that move as well. Pull the Fury Beihai back into the town square, choke up the bridge, and the rest is pretty much history. So congratulations to Peppa Pig Gaming moving on to the top 8, and let's take a look at the number. Right, so the generals were used very passively because they really couldn't do much offensively. The lack of hail of arrows from Heman was also kind of concerning. He did use them on the bridge when John L was chasing one of the enemy generals. I don't think that's a very effective way. When Huang Fuzong ran out of the city in the beginning to clearly try to hail of arrow the trebuchet, the best response is just use hail of arrow back on him, or perhaps chase with all 3 generals if you want to use a melee fight. But obviously very hard to chase back into tower range, so range abilities are going to be king there to use that to get some damage back. But that really didn't happen. Good values on the Fury Beihai, of course. Infantry's job was just to stay alive and block key areas on the street. Not recognizing what your units can do in terms of setting fire is definitely a mistake. The cavalry could have just set the fire to the barricade, would clear the path a lot quicker. The fact that he got him in by climbing him and then walked him on the walls, walked him in, and then decided to go back to remount, and then decided to go to the other side of the map, walking across 2 corner towers to get sniped, goes inside, routes. Yeah, definitely didn't get any value off the Sedan cavalry. The infantry did their best. The chanter couldn't do much. He got shot by the arrows as they were busy clearing that one barricade as they were getting shot during the whole process, or at least the first half and the second and the last bit, because in the middle they swapped targets and went for someone else because they were taking so long to kill their barricade. He recognized he could help out elsewhere first. The other units, Yoxia tried to fight some of these unbreakable guys. Well, I think, let's see, which unit were breaking through? I think Yoxia and the Chanter were together, and these Yellow Heralds were on the left side. They actually did the fighting with the Defender of Empire and got some of the kills that you see here. Because they basically just broke through a barricade, went and fought a little bit of the Imperial unit, and got a few kills off there, and that's about it. Qingzhou units did very well, as you can see. I think they're just better versions of unbreakable units. They're able to return much more damage if used properly. But in essence, it boiled down to general choices and unit choices on those generals. Not having fire weapons in a siege battle is just really hard to play. And that's going to do it for the Group 6 matchup. We'll come back tomorrow and check out Group 7. So until then, bye!